Hey Time Slicers, welcome to Slice Squad Spills. I'm your host, Nikki Wildflower. I went from a basement apartment to a multiple seven-figure empire. Now I'm here to share how you can do it too. Hi, welcome back to the Slice Squad Spills podcast. I'm your host, Nikki Wildflower, and I'm here with my co-host, my sister, Jackie. Today we have a really exciting episode for you. I say that every single week, and I'm actually getting annoyed at myself for constantly saying that because, like, how do I know that it's exciting? No, I really like this topic. We have been wanting to talk about this topic for a while because people always come and talk to me about, leadership and having a team and stuff like that. And it's one of those things that's really difficult. And I want you to know that even if you do not have a team, you should still listen to this because in a way, you are your own leader. So you treat yourself with these same principles as you would treat your team, right? So this is still for you, whether you have a team, whether you want to grow a team. And we're excited to talk about this today because it's something that really didn't come naturally to me at all. If you asked me 6 years ago, or even 5 years ago, or 4, if I would ever have a team, I was a hard no on that. I was like, independent for life. I'm going to do it myself. I can't imagine having to manage people, and I'm easily frustrated and whatever. And I had this entire story in my head about why I couldn't have a team and didn't want one. And then now 5 years later, there's like 30 people on my team.
Here we are with a big team.
And it's still a struggle sometimes, and I'm learning. So today we want to talk about what we have learned about having a team, also from just observing our clients and their teams and what works and what doesn't work within the service industry and other entrepreneurial endeavors when it comes to having one.
Yeah, leadership in general. It is. It's like I think for some people it might come a little bit more natural, and for a lot of people it doesn't. And it's one of those skills that you can learn how to be an effective and empowered leader. You may not always get it right. Like we still don't always get it right. We even had to have let's be tea right now. We even had to have a conversation this morning, like a difficult conversation because like in a leadership sort of way with each other's communication style when we're frustrated, right? So we're still learning every day, but I feel like we've made really huge strides, both of us, in the leadership direction. And for me, I always liked a leadership role. I've always every business I've worked for or in or with, I have, worked my way into a leadership role. I find that some of it comes naturally for me, but there are still so many things for me to learn. There are always things to learn. I guess what's the key in your mind to leadership, the most important key factor?
Well, I think that right now in 2024, where we're at right now, one of the biggest things that we try to be really good at with our team is autonomy. People all the time will be like, you need to have a set amount of vacation days for your team. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. I'm not doing it because I know that was as an employee, that was one of my biggest frustrations, feeling like I couldn't just get up and travel. I had to find coverage, this, that, and the other thing. I only had a certain amount of paid vacation days. So I don't really personally give a shit whether you are working at your desk or you're in Hawaii or you're traveling the world, and you're also allowed to take days off if you need to. So because we have that environment where if somebody's got something going on in their lives, they know they can just be like, hey, I'm going to be out this day. And it's not their freaking responsibility to find coverage, where we all just rally together and make it happen for them. And everyone's like, oh, well, people will start to take advantage. That's never happened.
Not for us.
Who has taken advantage of the unlimited vacation?
Nobody. Really, when you narrow down what can happen when you limit the amount of space and autonomy that people have with time off, it creates an environment of stress, I think, for a lot of people, right? I wanted to go on this vacation and I don't know if I could do it. And I want to factor in the fact that I might get sick at some point and I only have this many days. And that sort of stress puts a strain on the entire company's atmosphere, the vibe, come on, there's a better word than vibe.
Culture.
Culture. Thank you. Oh my God. That's exactly what I was looking for. But yeah, people on your team being stressed
vibes.
collectively, ruins the vibes. But it really doesn't do anything positive for the culture, right? So our team doesn't have that piece of stress of like, oh no, I'm having a mental health day. Now I have to ask for it and I have to find coverage. So that actually innately creates the us all coming together to support each other. I think because we're all like, oh, yeah, I've been there. I've taken a mental health day. I took one 2 weeks ago and everyone rallied behind me. And we all do that for each other. So that's the culture we've created through the discretionary or unlimited time off.
Yeah. And I think that one of the things is like, okay, but when you give people, this is what people will say, when I give people freedom to create their own schedule and kind of like do their own thing, how am I going to like track and make sure that they're bringing in enough money to the business or that they're holding their weight? We have ways that we measure that. Like we measure their KPIs. We measure people's KPIs. We hold them accountable. We all do like end of day reporting and everything within the business is measured. So we always are able to see trends and we're always able to get ahead of them. And it's right there, clear as day on paper. So I don't hold you accountable. I mean, you can literally do whatever you want. I'm looking at these numbers to see like if anything is slipping because it will translate. It will translate. I mean, people can have like an off week, but if there's like multiple, then it's like, okay, what's going on here? And the first thing we do isn't, what are you doing? It's just like, learning how to have conversations and also learning like you can't hold people to expectations that you didn't even like place upon them or train them on. So half the time it's just bad training and you're sitting there assuming that the person, just can't do basic shit. Maybe you didn't train them right. You ever consider that? Or maybe they're just like going through it. So maybe get to the bottom of that. See if there's a opportunity for learning there. Learn how to have the conversations. That's been a hard one. Becoming vulnerable, which I definitely learned from Brene Brown and learning to be like empathize with somebody on the team. Hey, I see that like you're going through a hard time here. Can you speak into what's going on? I've just noticed that this is happening or that, these metrics aren't being met. What's going on? And they might tell you what they think is going on. And then you kind of rally with them and come up with a solution together. And also say, and moving forward. And it's also frustrating for me because, we are running a business. So we do have to hit certain metrics. What does support from me look like that I can help you reach these goals?
Right. And that comes back to so I was going to say so autonomy, I think is like absolutely top 3. For me, top 1 in leadership is communication. And like, this is all communication, right? Like how well can you hold space for somebody and open up a difficult conversation rather than make assumptions, get in your head, fire them internally, like in your brain, like this person sucks. They're not, they're not hitting their KPIs. What's going on? Like how well can you, empathize, listen, ask questions, have that conversation and find solutions together and set clear boundaries and expectations moving forward. For the most part, and this translates into life with anyone, right? Listen, your team member probably is frustrated as well, right? So like you're frustrated, they're probably frustrated.
No one wants to be shitty at their job.
Right. Everyone could feel that energy. And so without a conversation, ruminating thoughts, fear, anger, frustration, whatever it may be, all of those feelings and emotions that come from, okay, I know I'm not meeting my expectations from the team member and the leader in the role being frustrated, like this person's not meeting their expectations. So having a conversation and finding a solution together and clear expectations moving forward is one of the most powerful things you could do when it comes to effective leadership and life.
And life.
Having clear conversations. Yeah.
And action plan and always actions, always end with actions. Also, if you're not one of the things as a leader, like if you're not measuring things and consistently giving feedback and providing training. So I went to a cool sales training a couple of weeks ago. And one of the things that we really leaned into was, and I might have said this in another episode before, I probably did, but one of the things that the trainer said, his name's Jack Daly, he said, why sports teams are better than most businesses? And I was like, why? And he was like, because practice. They have a coach out there in the fields with them and they're practicing. And there's an effing playbook Like, if you do not have a playbook for your team and the way that it operates, you're screwed. You always have to give people a playbook and then go back and always like see what's working, what's not working. But you should be out there in the field with them, training them. How many trainings do we have like per week for our team?
5 or 6 per week, plus one-on-ones. The entire leadership team meets with both Nikki and myself one-on-one every single week. Like, we are very hands-on because it is so important. Again, you've got to be able to train, have conversations, set clear expectations, and show people the way. Let's get vulnerable for a second and talk about how we did not have playbooks in place for a little while for our leadership team, or for our teams, really, in general, or ourselves, maybe, in leadership roles. And so there was a time where it did kind of feel like a free-for-all, and not a free-for-all, everyone was working really hard, right?
None of us knew exactly what our job was.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what exactly? I had to Google, what is the CEO supposed to do? Because I don't effing know.
We kept changing my title over and over again because I was like, I had no clear, I was just kind of like hands in every barrel, every pot. And we're like, what is Jackie? What do we even do? You know? And so we sat down, figured out job descriptions, and then playbooks based off of those job descriptions, life-changing. Even our whole team, D all the time is like, the playbook changed my life because I know exactly what's expected of me, how to structure my day each day, like what to prioritize, slaying with the action steps and playbooks.
Slaying. And you know what? You give people the tools that are supportive to them and doing their job well. Like, we'll do breath work for the team. We'll do stuff like that, offer them opportunities. We did a retreat last year, and not in like a corny, like rah kind of way. It's like, and I know that most people, when they say the culture is great, it's such like BS. And so I'm not even gonna say that. I'm just gonna say that,
be like, this is a family.
I just want to say that, like, us and our team, we friends out here, okay? And I like working with my friends, and we are still able to, just because friends and family work within this organization. Well, most of them have become friends like after work. It's just, we like each other. We spend a lot of time together, albeit a lot of time it's virtual. But when we see each other in person, it is just like, it's literally like having a slumber party with your best friends. It's that same vibe.
The most fun. And I think that's another point to leadership. Like, as a business owner or a leader, someone responsible for hiring, how well are you doing? Like, how well do you know the integrity and the core values of your company so that you can hire people? And you're not always going to get it right. I've totally hired people who were not in alignment before, because everyone's like in multiple companies too, like not just here, because everyone is on their best behavior in an interview, right? And so it can be challenging to kind of, in an hour or like 45 minutes, to kind of figure out if this person truly is in alignment with the company's values. However, there should be a refined process for making sure that you're bringing people on board who you would like, that are in alignment. And that's not to say that everyone on our team is the same or has the same strengths.
No.
By no means. We all have different strengths, and we all have values that are in alignment with growth, like the company's values, you know? So I think that, like, taking it all the way to that first step of interviewing and onboarding, are you rushing that process? Like, how well are you vetting these people and making sure that they are in alignment and setting the clear expectations of what the company's values are right from the jump? Like,
what the company's values are and like what's expected of them from the jump, because you really set the tone like from the start there. No, we have really great people within our company. And here's the other thing. I think I see this all the time with salon owners and spa owners. They're leading from this place of fear because so many people are going out on their own and becoming independent. And that's the reality of the situation. But here's the other reality of the situation. Not everybody actually wants to do that. Not everybody wants to be an independent hairstylist or have their own like massage room or their own facial room. Not everybody wants to be their own employer. That is not in the cards for a lot of people. So many people would just want to like go to work and then forget it. But guess what? You're leading from this place of fear that people are going to leave you. And just like you can't have a healthy relationship when you're in it from a place of like fear and, oh, you might cheat on me, you might leave me. Yes, they might. They might cheat on you. They might leave you, even if you're married. Listen, that could happen. There are no guarantees in that. And it's the same with people on your team. Does that mean that they're not worth investing in? No. Learn how to support other people's goals and growth. Do you even know what their goals are? Are you hyping them up about hitting their own goals? Or are you leading from this place of like, well, I'm not gonna get you this education or this certification because you might leave me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna marry you because you might leave me. We can't, just like we can't experience true love unless we're willing to be vulnerable. We can't be good leaders unless we're willing to be vulnerable. And that is where so many people miss out. And they'll kind of like fear monger onto their staff and be like, if you went out on your own, here's what could happen.
It would be so scary and expensive. I've actually literally had someone say that to me before.
Oh, yeah, me too. Like most businesses don't make it. They'll just start throwing like statistics at you and being like, you know how hard it is? You know how really hard it is?
Like, not the manipulation station.
And it's like, yeah, no, it is. It is. It's fucking impossible. But no, it's hard. But no, it's fun. Listen, like it's both of those things, but it doesn't matter. That is not you don't do that. Just don't fucking do that. Don't lead from a place of fear. Yeah, your team might leave you and they're still worth loving and supporting.
They are, right? Because they're bringing value to the company while they are with you. And especially if you can support their goals and not lead from that place of fear and not manipulate people. Like, if you can learn, like Nikki said, what are their goals? Like in a review, hey, what are your goals both within and beyond or outside of this of Sly Squad Consulting? And how can I support you in those? And truly from an authentic place, be able to compartmentalize, like, I love this person on my team and their long-term goal is not to be here forever. How well can you compartmentalize? You as a leader, you have to compartmentalize all the time. It's like, okay, this is not personal, right? This is personal to this person who is a human being who has goals and aspirations just as big as mine. Isn't that a good thing? Don't you want that sort of person, even just temporarily on your team? Someone who values growth and has huge aspirations. They're going to be a really hard worker, because they're learning in the process of working alongside you. So it's like a win for everyone.
I think people get afraid that they're going to steal their business.
I get it. There are ways, there are employee contracts where you can have specific words, maybe it's an NDA or like a non-compete of sorts, because obviously that wouldn't be an okay scenario. So like, how can you be proactive on that? Someone who works with you and then maybe ultimately goes out independently, I'm sure they're going to take with them some of the things that they learned.
Well, I want to say, like, if I had somebody who was like, I want to create the exact same business model as you and do it better, I wouldn't hire them.
No. No.
So I'm just like,
well, there's like a line, I think. Like,
yeah.
So
I wouldn't hire them because I'm like, you're telling me that you're using me to take what I'm teaching you, take my business and turn it into your own. So as a leader, that is a little bit of a red flag for me. I support them in like other business endeavors and their life outside 100%, but you're not going to steal my business.
No. I mean, I think there is like a difference maybe because like with this industry, but if you look at it from like a spa, for example, maybe there are estheticians and massage therapists that work at that spa, and the spa owner, does reviews and, is a great leader. If one of their employees, like one of their massage therapists or estheticians, their goal is to ultimately open a spa, like nearby, I don't know. I guess there's a line.
Why would they hire them?
Well, because that's like their long-term goal. That's like a 5-year goal. So right now they're really hoping to just like find consistency and work at the space. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I feel like that would be where like a non-compete or like an NDA or something would be in place where it's like, okay, you can't open this exact replica of this space 5 minutes from here, but I do support you in wanting to own like your own location in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's like, you got to really learn about people.
Yeah. It is a fine line to tread, and I do understand that as well. But I still think as an overall, like, you make sure that and like just make sure that it's worth people's while to like want to stay on your team. Like I want people to not want to leave because one, I would miss them and I don't own them in any capacity. I don't own them. They can go off and live their life and do whatever they want to do. But I want them to want to stay. I want to be everything to them that they would want in a position. And so I always come from that place. Like, what would I want?
And we don't own you. We're just a little clinky. That's all.
We're just clingy. We just have a lot of fun. And that's the other thing. Like, are you having fun or are you like a ball of stress? I'm a ball of stress and a good time. When our filming crew came, they were asking, what's it like working for Nikki? And but everybody was like, honestly, it's a little chaotic, but it's great. I've never felt like I belonged anywhere. Like I belong here. Constantly make sure that we're giving each other support. And we're all so fucking hype on like everything all the time, like learning and growing and new things that it's almost like we're out of our minds when one of us gets like a new fun gadget or something that's going to improve our life in some small way. The rest of the team just like runs and gets it. Tell me why I have mouth tape on the way.
Oh, you ordered it? I never ordered it.
I ordered mouth tape because one person on the team got freaking mouth tape and said it was life-changing. And I'm like, sold. If there's a book that one of us reads, everybody wants to read it. I go to a training, the first thing that I want to do is pay it forward to my team because I want them to feel as excited as I feel. And not even because like, I'm like, if you're excited, you're going to make me more money. Like at this point, I don't really give a shit. I'm excited and I want you to be excited and I want our clients to be excited and I want us all to be excited. Why the fuck can't we have fun?
I always want to have fun. I feel like today's meeting was fun. This morning's meeting was really fun.
We always have fun in our morning meetings. I feel like they're typically a really good time.
I was in such a bad mood when I showed up to that meeting because I'm trying to get this damn continuity camera to work. I can't figure it out. And you know, when you try something so hard that it frustrates you to the point of like almost tears because you're like, I've done everything it says in the videos and that's where I was at. And I was like this in the meeting, just like straight face.
I know. I
wasn't ready. And everyone was like so fun and vibrant. And then Nikki M popped on and she said like the sweetest thing. She's like, I'm just so grateful. She shared like a story and something that like brought her back to like a couple of years ago and like where she's at now. And she said like the sweetest thing ever. And I'm like, okay, energy shifted. That's it.
I thought it was the coolest story. She had said that, and she's going to share it, I think, on social media, but she found like one of her old paychecks from few years back and she's like, I was making $122 a week.
She's like, I made almost $1,000 yesterday
behind the chair. And then clients, plus I have this job that I love and I'm just grateful. And it makes it worth it. I feel like this job is everyone like in our companies, they love it.
Dream job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we all love helping people. I know. It's like we're a family of people who love to watch others go. It's our dream job.
It's so culty.
It's corny,
it's all fun and games until we end up on a freaking Netflix documentary.
Please. Absolutely not. But no, I know we do get a little culty because we are all really passionate about it. Like we're passionate about helping people. And that's why we have the best community of clients too, because they can feel that. Like we've got some really long-term clients, like people who have been with us for over a year because they are in alignment. They're like, yes.
And just so you know, we're only like a year old. So when we say like really long-term clients for us, that's really long-term because
from day one. Yeah.
Yeah. We have some day one people and they're amazing and we love them. Yeah, it's just that culture. And then when it's like an in-person event, there are so many people that, okay, you're already certified in our extensions. You've already been to an in-person event as well. And now they're still going to come to the other in-person event just because they want to be there. Like that is the kind of that is the vibe that we've always intended to create and that we continue to create. I'm like, yeah, let's just come hang. We're going to do freaking breath work. We're going to hang out. We're going to inspire each other. Like those are the kind of people that I want to be around. And those are the people that we have brought into our community. And it's incredible. So when it comes to leadership, like not leading from fear, giving people autonomy, I stand by the unlimited vacation days. Think about what you would want from an employer and make sure that they have that when you give them, make everything measurable. You can't just like build up these expectations of somebody and then just spring and not tell them or communicate it well. And then just spring it on them or come up with your head that they're just lazy when you didn't give them shit to go off of. I'm like, how the hell were they supposed to know that that was part of their job if you didn't fucking tell them, or you just told them one time? And then like, you have to give people feedback. And like, listen, like, am I always amazing? No, I'm kind. And there are times where I get like really frustrated and like I come off too harsh. And then immediately I'm just like, whew, okay. And now we have to have a hard conversation because I'm an asshole. All right. I just want to take a moment. How I just reacted was not appropriate. My bad. Kind of a dick move. No, I'm like, nah, I got to keep myself in check. I'm like, that was not the nicest way that I could have responded. Here is what was going on internally that I think triggered that response. And here is how I'm going to do better next time. But honestly, it's few and far between. It takes me a lot to get to that point.
When you can be vulnerable and like take accountability with your frustration to your team and just be like, listen, like we're all human. We're all human beings, and things can get stressful. Like, listen, we're having fun out here, and yeah, we are stressed. There's a lot of things being thrown in everyone's direction every day, because we're running a very successful business. Super grateful for that. And yeah, it's a lot. And so when you can just be honest with that, like, hey, I think I'm just really stressed out in this moment. I'm very overwhelmed and I might need to take a second, or like I reacted from a place of stress and frustration. Like, that's powerful right there. Like, hey, I know that I probably did the wrong thing in that moment. I do that all the time. I'm like, hey, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. That's on me for doing that thing. That was not correct, or communicating that way that wasn't correct. I shouldn't have spoken in the moment because I was stressed or being reactive. By taking that accountability, saying it out loud, it's a reminder to yourself next time you are frustrated, right? Then in other moments, like, okay, last time I was frustrated, I sent a less than kind email that was passive aggressive. Let me take a breather, take some space for myself. Like, what is happening internally for me right now? Okay, I'm really stressed out. Is this message or email that I'm considering writing kind, clear, or helpful? If the answer is no on any of those, then I'm going to take a break and go back when it is kind, clear, and helpful. And maybe
what
ask
is
the
my
person.
intention?
Right.
I just took a presentation class that was really good. And always before you go into any presentation or any lecture or any like email, what's my goal here? Am I trying to convince? Am I trying to teach? Am I trying to inspire? What is the point in what I'm about to do? That's just something to consider every time that I'm about to get into a meeting. Every time that I think to myself, what is my intention today for being here? Am I inspiring? Am I educating? Am I entertaining? Maybe it's a little bit of everything, Another thing that I think is really important is recognition. People like to have recognition. So you make sure that you are appreciating them and giving them. I'm not the best at words of affirmation. I'm working on it. I tend to show people my appreciation with, money and gifts and stuff like that. That's kind of what I do.
Our mom's like that, so it makes sense.
When does she give me money?
Okay, no, not money, but she's like a gift. She's more of like, rather than
let
saying
me do it. No,
like,
she's an acts of service
acts
girl.
Of service.
She's like,
right,
let me do.
Right.
She's like, let me do a thing for you. I'm straight up like a gift giver. I'm like, let me get you this Gucci bag. I'm not going to tell you I appreciate you. I'm going to buy you a Gucci bag. No.
And some people would rather the Gucci bag, and some people really like love languages translate to work too.
Everything does. I'm telling you, the relationship advice, the parenting advice, and the leadership advice are all the effing same. I have taken classes in parenting. I've taken relationship classes. I've been to retreats. I'm constantly just trying to be like this top tier level of myself that doesn't exist. So I've taken every class possible that I ever can to improve. And I've taken leadership classes. And guess what? It's the same information. How we talk to our toddlers or how we're supposed to talk to them in a healthy way is the same way we talk to our teammates. It's the same way we talk to a spouse.
It's communication. It's communication and human like design or human psychology. Like, some people are going to need words of affirmation. You like, as a leader, you can ask, how can I show you? How can I support you? Like, what does appreciation look like from me? And I feel like some people on our team would be like, get me the Gucci bag, babe. I'm like, can you tell me that I'm doing a good job? Like that.
I'm
I
like,
like
no,
words
but
of
I
affirmation.
can get you a Gucci bag.
And I'm like,
I
thank you
can't
for
tell you
the,
you're doing a good job because it just does not come off of my tongue easily.
I love telling people that they're doing a good job.
I
It's
just
my
never
favorite
think
thing.
about it. So I'll like slide it into conversation. So like today, I just like one of our team members has just shown like a vast amount of improvement in being a leader. And I was like, hey, I just want to let you know that like you're doing a good job. Also, if you do this, you'll get designer shoes.
Literally.
No, I'm like, so I put a competition into place and I'm like, winner gets designer shoes.
I'm on the competitor board, so
Do you
going
even
I don't
care?
even no, I don't, because I don't care about designer shoes that much. That wasn't the best prize for me.
You don't care about design. I bet you could care.
I'm gonna spark my own excitement about it by perusing the internet for some designer shoes that I like, and then I'll really be on board. But yeah, so learning people's love languages, right, on your team.
Yeah, you need some time off. Like if it's acts of service here, take some time off. I will take over your client load for the next few days. That happens sometimes. Like, hey, we got you. Like, we'll take over all your clients, make sure that they're supported. You take some time off. I'll send them a gift card because I can't help myself. And I'm like, go enjoy your time. And then they come back and they're refreshed, you know, because we all every once in a while, like everybody needs a freaking break, right?
Yeah. Acts of service is like, what can I take off of your plate? That's
What
the
can I take off
best.
of your plate?
Yeah.
The only thing that we don't, I mean, there are, wait, what are all the love languages? So there are acts of service, there are words of affirmation, there is quality time, which some people on the team like really value the meetings and the in-person events. I love that too, though. I'm like, as I get older, quality time becomes more important to me, actually. That's probably almost my number one at this point is the
I think
quality
that's
time.
my number one as well.
And then it's giving gifts and physical touch. And the one thing that we don't do is physical touch because that's fucking weird. Somebody call HR. But all the other love languages, you know, you gotta figure it out, right? And you got to learn how to communicate with people that aren't in that same bucket as you, just even personality wise. Like, we'll do personality trainings to make sure that we're giving our clients who are on the different end of the spectrum an experience that still works for them and that empowers them. So like we focus on just so much shit. But also, I wanted to say one more thing, and this is the other like biggest freaking thing that I hear from like a salon owner or something. I can't find anybody to work for me, and I don't want to reach out to stylists and poach them from other salons. And I'm like, have you ever heard of LinkedIn?
I was
Have
just
you
going
ever
to
heard?
say LinkedIn literally is a poaching site. I feel like.
Yeah, I'm like, have you? Every other industry has no problem like putting people on their radar and kind of nurturing that relationship and like seeing if that might be a good fit. If they are happy where they are, then they're not going to leave. No problem, no sale. Okay. So, how are you getting clients in your chair? The same way you're getting clients in your chair is the same way you can be getting people to like good quality people to work for you. You know, social media, outreach, referrals. It's the same shit. It's the same core stuff and running ads.
I've had people outbound to me before, like in the past where I was working at a wellness center that I really enjoyed working at. So I was not interested, but I have had people outbound to me, like DM me and say, hey, we're like opening a location, sent me pictures, sent me a video, like the two owners, they're like, hey, like this is what we're all about. And it was kind of a vibe. If I wasn't super happy where I was at, I would probably consider interviewing. So it is powerful, right? Like, and if you get rejected, it's probably because the person doesn't want to leave their current
And who
spot.
cares? That's the thing that like the number one thing that is going to like keep you from growing is having this huge fear of rejection. No, nobody wants to feel rejected. Does it feel good when somebody says no or leaves you on red? No, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter. That's the thing. Who cares? Your life doesn't change at all if that happens. And it also takes a lot more effort than you actually think. Like, I'll have people that reach out to like three people and they're like, I just can't find anybody. I'm like, you reached out to three people? Three people? How about 20 a day, my friend? How
Yeah.
about 100 a day? Like,
Run a damn ad.
I always sent out like 100 DMs a day. And everyone's like, how do you have time for that? I'm like, it takes 45 minutes. It's really not a big deal. You just are mismanaging your time, but that's for another
That's
day.
on a
And you're
different episode.
and you're afraid of rejection, so you're putting it off and you're procrastinating. That's the reality of it.
Analysis paralysis. Just do the thing. Just do the thing. outreach to the damn person that like is amazing at a different commission space. Like, what do you have to lose? Don't overanalyze it. Like, the worst thing that's going to happen, worst case, they're like, I'm actually really happy where I'm at. And you're like, okay,
Yeah.
bye.
And
Slay.
remember, it's not about you at all. It's about them. When you're getting a client or you're going and finding an employee, the same thing remains true. Solving problems, and they don't care about you. They care about their dream, whether that be a feeling, whether that be a job, or whether that be a salon experience or their dream hair. All they care about is them and their dream, not you. So when you go in, you're like, I have chairs opening up, this and that. Here's everything that's amazing about me. Not at all. Remember, build a relationship, add value, think about what you can do for them. And, you might be talking. That's where we're at today with leadership. And that's how I feel.
Wait, I have one more thing that just came to mind that's really
Yeah.
important in terms of leadership. Allowing people the space, I'm not talking just autonomy, but like the space to give feedback and input and express their ideas, their creative ideas
Oh, yeah.
for the company. We didn't even talk about that. So in our full team meeting, which we do bi-weekly, we have a large team now. We used to do it weekly and it just got a little overwhelming, but we do allow space for open discussion, people to like raise their hand and give ideas in the Zoom meeting. And we try to do every once in a while, like something like a Canva graphic where everyone has a slide and they can like input ideas or kind words about each other, or someone might be holding in a really creative, really beneficial idea for the company because they're afraid to say it, right? They're like, well, I'm not like in a leadership role. Are you allowing people the space to speak into, because remember, we all have an internal dialogue of like, is this a stupid idea? But like a lot of the times the ideas that you're like, is this stupid or is this genius, are the most genius ideas in the world.
Like maybe it's Brill.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Genius. Going to Harvard. No, but we've had our team actually come up with incredible ideas for our clients that have literally just created more success and fulfillment within our client group. And those ideas didn't come directly from anyone in leadership.
Teach people how to like manage their time well so that they can have a really nice balance between work and their actual life. Outside of that, support that balance. A lot of times people are doing actually like just mismanaging their time and not focusing on the right things. So when you provide tools for them and show them how that they could structure their day, that's awesome. And the other thing that I'll say is, I mean, it really all comes down to autonomy, communication, vulnerability, not leading from a place of fear, support, helping people reach their own goals, making sure they're in the role that they want to be in or belong in, and where to find people.
And reviews and bonuses.
Oh, reviews and bonuses, of course.
Geez, there are so many pieces to being like an effective business owner and leader. Geez, but do at least an annual review. Like if you're
that was the other thing. We do end of day reporting and it's so important. Like we have Slack because when you can't really improve anything that you don't measure. And also when people that work for you aren't clear on their own goals, which I like really push them to be, because I can help you get there, but I can't help you get nowhere. I can only help you if I know where we're going. Know what their goals are, measure everything. That will tell you everything that you need to know. Knowing the KPIs tells you everything that you need to know so that you don't have to freaking micromanage people. Somebody just asked me like how they could get a system to make sure that their virtual employees are actually behind their computer. And I'm just like, you really want to do that? I'm like, you really want to do that? Just measure their KPIs and make sure they're performing in that way. And if not, then it's coachable. And if not, then you get in the old heave-ho.
The boot. And with that data that you're collecting and like the reporting that's happening, they can clearly see how well they're performing. So if you do, and if you haven't had a conversation with them because it's, maybe they're not, you get to review time and it's less scary for them, right? Because they already know, like they've been seeing the collected information.
They're like, yeah, I'm fucking up real bad.
Or they're like, I've been slaying and I'm gonna get a bonus. And so giving bonuses based off of actual measurable data is really important. Like client retention, performance, everything along those lines is really important.
And you're not going to fear them into performing in that way. You're going to inspire them into performing that way and give them proper feedback and give them proper training and support and show up for them. It's okay to
That
have
was,
bad
like,
days.
cute.
What?
That was, like, so cute. I was touched because
Ew.
you're like, "Show up for them." It was, like, the cutest. Alright, sorry, I interrupted you. Go on.
No, I got nothing. So anyway, the only way we could keep this thing going, no, that's BS. We can still keep it going if you don't like and subscribe, but it would be really cool if you do. Like, we're not sponsored by anybody. It's just us. Like, put it out there into the world if you're enjoying this and finding it useful. If you are in the service industry at all, there will be links below if you want to work with our team. I mean, I guess whether that be as an employee, typically we do hire from our client base, but if you want to become a client, there will be links to sign up, and then you can always email if there's like a position that you think you would want to come into on the team. So
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. There will be 2 separate links below, one for, service industry entrepreneurs, the other one for hairstylists, and we'll make it clear in the description. We'll
which
make it clear in the
one?
description which one is which.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Sincerely grateful. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Slice Squad Spills. If you're enjoying the show, please subscribe, leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback is going to help us improve and attracts more listeners to the show. Please share with your fellow time slicers. And hey, if you're ready to optimize your time and double your income, we've got you covered.